and we had another floor with the Wing Tsun guys. And then what happened was, we used to train every week. I was studying with the Scheif, and at that time, Sifu Allan and Sifu Lars they had their own school. So we are training Monday and Wednesday. Sifu Lars and Sifu Allan is training Tuesday and Thursday, and Friday we come together and have our training together. And of course, when we do some sparring, we have to find out the Monday group is better or Tuesday group is better. And then the thing was, after training, we used to go. They had a bar upstairs, and they had a small dance floor. And the thing was, when you had a lot of jazz ballet girls and a lot of kung fu guys, you can imagine what happened.
No. A lot of jazz hands.
Yes. So, why I'm telling you this, because after we moved away from that school, we moved to Damhuskroen, and we had some training there for a few years. Then we moved to Vesterbrogade 24B. 24B, we had our training. Some of you have been there, like Sifu Kenny started that time, Anders started that time. I don't know when you start. I think also in 24B you were training up in that time. And then we moved to Vesterbrogade, and that has its own story. At the time when we opened WTS Center, actually I was planning to make my own school in Lyngby. And Sifu Allan was looking to make his own school. So we had some meetings, how to do it. If we do something together, who will be the boss? Something like that.
Yeah, obviously.
So we had some negotiation, and Sifu Lars was also there. And after we settled everything, we decided to open a club together. And when we opened the club, we had a common idea that we want to create the same vibe which we had in our school where we started training in, which was in Ramsbrogade. And what was that? We had a bar. we had some dance.
First there was a bar, and then we say it's a more room.
And we had some of those girls who were dancing, and we had some of the guys. So when we actually started Wing Tsun, when we started the WTS Center, this was our idea. Then we were looking for a club. It took a lot of time. Finally, we found Vesterbrogade 24B. I remember Alan and I, 76, yes. We had a lot of meetings with different guys. Finally, we found it, and I think we had 1 month to open the club. And, unless you were there, you can't imagine the kind of work we had to do. Anders knows, because we spent endless days and nights, and Kenneth and all of the guys who were there know how much we worked. I remember at that time I used to work at night as a bouncer. And I had my colleague, and I remember in the top of WTS Center, we had a lot of iron, ventilation, and there was a lot of shit. It's unbelievable, a lot of shit hanging in the
and cabling.
So we took all of that down, and when you open the door, it's just like 1,200-300 square meters of shit on the floor. And we had to open in a few weeks and make a bathroom and a training hall and paint and all that. So I took my friend, Tom, and I showed him the place. He said, "This is our new club, and it's just like Holocaust." So he said, "Okay, when are you going to open? A year from now?" He was serious. He couldn't imagine we're opening in 3 weeks. Somehow it happened, and there was a special vibration, like a grassroots vibration. Everybody's working, and everybody wants to make it happen. And so finally we succeeded, and we made the club. Now Kim is not here, Salomonsen, but some of you know. He was a karate guy in those days. And I remember when he came to the club, I was upstairs fixing some lamp, and he came downstairs. We knew each other from town. And he said, "Oh, Henning." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I hear you're opening a club." I said, "Yeah." So, is it possible I can rent one of your rooms? I want to do karate. I say, "Why on earth would you want to do karate?" He said, I like it. He said, I did it for 10 years. He said, "Let me show you something." I went down, I showed him Wing Tsun, and you know what happened. can understand he's still training and and he loves Wing Tsun. So I think nobody, whatever happened in our time, nobody could ever plan. It's just kind of be your destiny or something like that. I don't know. Now, some of you know I travel all over the world and I see a lot of people. I have never seen a club like our club. Wherever I went, I think, like Sisuk Henning was saying, I think we have made the biggest Wing Tsun club in the whole world. And maybe one of the biggest martial arts clubs in the whole world. So it's something really special. I think we succeeded in something very special. Not only that, what is the meaning of martial arts? People ask me nowadays, oh, you stopped Wing Tsun. And I said, how can you stop Wing Tsun? It's something inside of you, it's a kind of lifestyle. It's a kind of way you look at the world. It's a kind of way you move in the world. Just now Peter was saying, oh, I have to make a speech. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. What is that? It is a kind of fight, except you don't have to hit anybody. It's a mental fight. So it's just a deeper level of Wing Tsun. So nowadays I go around, I give a lot of talks. When I give a talk, there can be 1,000 people. So it's Wing Tsun, everything. I never think I left Wing Tsun. I'm just doing it in a different way. But I can still kick ass. More than that, I want to say another thing. We have had, like Sisuk Henning was mentioning, we had a lot of changes in our Wing Tsun history. Now EV2, now whatever this or that. So many ideas, so many different things happened. One thing was always central for me. My belief, when you are Sifu and when you do Wing Tsun, you have a special obligation. And that is, should you teach chain punch and chi sao and all that Sinum Tao? Yes, it's not unimportant. It's a little bit important. But which is much more important is you teach about life. And how you do that, you live as an example. Because whatever you can be as an example in front of your student, it will affect people's lives. And this is much more important than anything you could ever do. So my belief is this is the really purpose of coming together like that. In those days we were a little bit what you call idealistic.
Sorry.
We had some idealism. One part of that idealism was that Wing Tsun is supposed to be the most lethal fighting art on the face of the earth. So after a little bit training, you start to realize it's not really like that. It's more like what you train. Like suppose your girlfriend is the most beautiful girl in the world. To who? To you. It's enough, right? If you love her, it's enough. It's not that she should be beautiful for everybody. She should be beautiful for you. So when you train Wing Tsun, it's the same. You do Wing Tsun because you love Wing Tsun. You don't need to do Wing Tsun because it's the most lethal or the most whatever. Just because you love it, and we love Wing Tsun, so that's why we do Wing Tsun. This is my opinion. And as we train, important is what we succeeded in. Now, some of you may know I travel a lot to India, I travel a lot to Bali and all of that. So I had my teacher there also. When I did Wing Tsun, I hear about body, mind and spirit, and I want to investigate. So by investigating, I went there to India. I found teachers on a higher level than you can imagine. It's like the Pope or something there, like really high level. So I trained with them. How you train? You wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. You do meditation 10 hours a day. Maybe you fast for 21 days. All of that. I live in a cave, no electricity, no running water, no toilet. So you can imagine when I love Wing Tsun and I train hard, whatever I did with this thing is the same. And one belief I found there was that people are souls and people come again and again. And when they come again and again, they come together for a purpose. So if you remember that, or if you can think a little bit like that, then to see all of you together here with respect for each other, this is the most beautiful thing which could happen. It's much more important than if you know Chi Sao or you have the 5th or 6th level. Just that you are friends, you have your own school, you have your own school, you have your own school. After that we have a common family together here. So I say cheers to that.
Cheers. Woo!